sorry, babe, we gotta go to the emergency.
And we don't want to live life expecting the other person to die either.
It's not the grief. I can handle the grief. It's all the other things that come with losing your mum.
No matter what season you walk through in life, you can either choose to wallow or worship.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Good Grief. It is good to be back. I feel like I'm a new person now. I feel like last time I wasn't quite back, but now I am. And it's so good to be here. Today we're going to be talking and honouring mothers. It's almost Mother's Day here in Australia. I know it's not everywhere around the world, but we thought we'd take this moment to honour the special mothers in our lives and your lives, and you as well if you're a mother. Because I am now a mother, so
And that's
very-
probably why you didn't feel quite like yourself the last episode you're on, because you had a 6-day-old.
Yes, I did have a 6-day-old, and I
who's
was
now almost 3 weeks.
just 3 weeks tomorrow.
So you're doing
Can't
an
believe
amazing
it.
job,
Oh, thanks.
and it's pretty cool that we've got Mother's Day coming up to celebrate you for the first time
Yeah,
in this new season.
I know. I can't believe it. I still look at her and think, wow, I'm a mother. That's wild. But like, okay, let's talk about the week that was. Oh my gosh.
The week that still is, it feels like. Had the craziest week. So
When did it start?
I think Sunday night,
Yeah,
Saturday night, you started feeling pain.
like severe abdominal pain. And I just thought, I mean, TMI, sorry guys, I thought it was just due to like postpartum constipation, not having great bowel movements.
Which is super normal for
Super
mums.
normal, yeah. Build-up of gas, all those sorts of things.
So we thought we could manage it.
But it just like ramped up at night. Couldn't explain it. A shift in body weight, everything would just cause me severe pain. And I was like, I don't know, there's something going on
So
here.
Sunday night, Monday night was excruciating.
Yeah, I just
You
literally
cried most of the
cried
night.
through the night. Every time I had to feed her, roll over, or whatever, it was just so painful.
And so for me, I was like, man, this girl didn't cry in childbirth, and here you are
Yeah.
crying all night.
Just
It's
such
hard
a
to see.
just such a different pain, just such a different intensity. And so Tuesday we call our midwife. She's like, oh, I think I texted her like 4 a.m. and she just happened to be up because they have a wild timeline life. And she was like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Have you tried a heat pack? I was like, yes, I've like tried all the things.
Comes
and she's-
around, takes one look at you pretty much.
Yeah.
And she's like, let's get you to hospital. So
And she's like, you shouldn't be in this kind of pain. Let's go.
we rush you to hospital.
You've
Thankfully.
like just tried to start back at work.
Yeah. So Monday was my first day
I'm
back.
like, go babe, get into it. Comes Tuesday, I'm like, sorry babe, we gotta go to the emergency.
Yeah. So Tuesday, rush you to hospital, which thankfully is like literally 10 minutes away. They've got no idea what it can be. And we think we're just going to be there for a short time. We think,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is constipation. Like, we'll get this sorted.
Yeah,
and we'll be
they'll
out of
tell
here.
us it's just this and give me something and on we go.
Yeah. Blood tests. I don't know.
Ultrasound.
Yeah. I
We've
can't
moved
even
from
remember.
this department to that department.
No certainty. So that's probably, and this is probably like one of the things in life is that we all crave certainty. So whether we're talking about like postpartum here or grief, certainty is one of the things that we need. And when we don't have that because we've lost someone, for example, we don't know what tomorrow is going to look like, or a year from now or 10 years from now, how are we going to cope? That's part of what causes us so much upset and unrest and sleepless nights and pain, is because we don't have any certainty, and probably the falsehood of before you lost them is we just expected them to be here until we all reach 100 and we all die gracefully of old age, right? It's like, that's where as humans, we have this failed mindset of this person, you're going to be with me until we grow old, sitting on the back deck, drinking cups of tea, watching the sunset, and we pass away in our sleep. And that's just not the truth. And
That's not how life goes.
we don't want to live life expecting the other person to die either. So like we move forward without thinking about them dying. And then when it hits us, that's when all this uncertainty comes. Anyway, back to the hospital. We had all this uncertainty.
We digress.
Yes.
Yeah. There was ultrasounds that caused me even more pain.
We got transferred at 1 a.m. to the bigger hospital here.
Yeah. We'd had a CT scan before that. They were trying to get me to do
You could barely get on the CT. That was hard.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're trying to feed Nazare,
Yeah.
and we're trying to time that in between scans and ambulances, and I'm trying to shoot home. Like, you guys listening, you've been through hospital stints, and you know what we're talking about.
I'd never been to hospital like properly for myself, so this was all new to me. I was like, babe, they're wanting to transfer us now. Like, we're going to stay overnight. We need stuff. Like, we weren't expecting this.
Yeah.
Like, we got there at 11 a.m. and now it was like, now it was 12 midnight. And we thought we'd be gone at like 3 p.m., be out of there.
One of my lessons from the week was pack more than you need for hospital. Pack more food, more nappies, more clothes. I forgot socks and undies, so that's like
Inside out trick.
But socks is like one of the nicest, and underwear. But like one of the put
To
a
have
fresh pair
clean,
clean on, and I didn't.
Plus,
have
you're
those,
walking around on a hospital floor, like
which is gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
We got some answers.
we got Wednesday 1 a.m. We're in a different hospital. Wednesday, I have to shoot off to a funeral for a friend, and so it was hard.
Your mum tag teams,
Yeah.
brings some more stuff to the hospital, comes to keep me company, help out.
So I shoot off to the funeral. You're tuning in on the live stream.
Yeah, I'm tuning in on the live stream on my phone, and people are checking my vitals, my heart rate, all those things, hooking up IV, what is it, antibiotics, and oh my gosh, yeah, it was just crazy. I'm lying there with our daughter, tuning in to the friend that passed away the day after she was born, and it was just.
It was all happening.
Yeah.
And that was just Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I actually took something to the funeral, which for the first time that I want to do more often. And I'm calling it a grief grenade. And so you're welcome to use this tip for any future funerals. But I can remember...
Or your own play on it.
Yeah. I can remember when my dad died, we had our funeral. Mum had a bottle of water, but she was just shaking, and she'd drink this water as she was sharing her tribute, right, for her husband, my dad. And she made this joke that her water bottle's full of vodka, and like it broke the ice, and everyone sort of laughed a bit, and she was able to use that as a joke to keep her going as if it was vodka. So when I went to this funeral on Wednesday, I took a little 50 ml Absolute vodka bottle. And my plan was to give it to one of our pastors. It was her brother that passed, but I didn't get there in time. So I was going to give her this grief grenade and say, you can pull the pin on this at any time and, just calm the nerves. But she didn't need it. She was an absolute powerhouse. And
My gosh,
God's
she
grace,
spoke so well.
God's grace, she made it through that. That was Wednesday. I came back to hospital, stayed overnight again.
Didn't get your hot breakfast.
No, they reckon I needed a dietitian to
That was the funniest
prescribe
thing.
me baked beans and scrambled eggs. Anyway, we were fortunate enough that the staff and the doctors were wonderful to us.
They were.
Everyone treated us with care, which was we're grateful for. We got out of there Thursday. And then Friday.
Did we?
Yeah, Thursday. And then Friday, I got sick or started to get sick. And I got the man flu, which you might hear it in my voice. I'm still recovering from now, feeling better.
At the end of.
So I've had to avoid
Hallelujah.
my wife and my baby for the last 3 days, which has been tough. Anyway, enough about us. That's the week that we've had.
That was our week.
And I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Monday started off so well. We filmed our most listened podcast so far.
Yeah.
With my psychologist Sean, and so if you haven't listened to that episode, just go back one. It's like literally the episode before this one. With Sean Prentice talking about how grief affects the brain.
So good.
And this week, or next episode, you'll hear from Elizabeth in California. She is a science nutritionist, and she's also lost her son. So she's gonna be talking about the loss of her son as a mother, but then also the nutritional needs that we need when we're going through grief because of how our body is affected and how we don't look after ourselves during grief as well. So.
Yeah. She's super passionate about that, which is really cool. It's something I think not enough of us think about or have others to look after us about. Like giving birth, our midwife was like, make sure it's like hot healing meals. And I think it's the same with grief. We need healing and nutritious meals to keep us going, because it's like,
but also
you're depleted so much.
Meals that don't take long to make as well, because you just don't have energy and time.
It's just the beauty of a meal train of someone else making it for you. Heat and repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you haven't listened to those episode and the one coming, stay tuned for that. Yeah, super good. So, Mother's Day is coming up. It's my first Mother's Day. It's very cool.
As a mum.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you were saying that you actually remember Mother's Days with your mum.
So clearly. Yeah. I remember being a teenager and going, Mum would take Mum in breakfast. Us kids would all go make her coffee and thick raisin toast. It's got to be the thick stuff.
The old bed and breakfast.
Yeah, and all the butter and stuff. And I was like, if I could get thick raisin toast delivered to me in bed on Mother's Day, I'd be a happy woman. I remember thinking this when I was a teenager.
Okay, now you're a mum. Is that something that you would actually enjoy?
Well, yeah, because we still have it from time to time.
In bed?
Yeah.
You would actually want that? I'm just checking this with you. Because I don't value meals in bed. I'm like, I'd rather get up, have a shower, come out here and eat. In bed, I'm like, I'm here for sleeping.
Once you're up, you're kind of like...
Just clarify that part for me.
I just want to get out.
Yes, raisin toast in bed. Is that a thing you want?
Not necessarily.
Okay. All right.
But I do love me some thick raisin toast.
If you're listening, send us a message and let us know if you value your meals in bed.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Because, that's what we did for Mum. We'd all come jump on the bed cool. And we'd always buy her the same thing. We'd always upgrade her sleepwear. It was either a gown or slippers or pajamas or things like that. And then we'd just sit there and hang out for a while and either go to church or whatever it was.
Or is it always on a Sunday?
I think it's always on a Sunday here.
It's always the second Sunday in May.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, they're just super clear memories for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. I don't remember Mother's Days with my mum as much as you do, or with my dad. I don't remember Father's Days. Yeah, I can remember some meals in bed and things like that, but not that vividly or specifically. But I don't know. Have I said it already? I want to honor all mums, because now being 3 weeks into seeing you as a mum and seeing what you've gone through and how much our bub is dependent on you, it's I wouldn't be here without my mum. It's there's only things mums can do. And so I'm so grateful for that deeper appreciation now. So if you're a mum listening, we just want to shout you out. We want to praise you. Thank you for making this world a better place.
Yes.
You are so worthy. You are loved, even if we've never met or seen you before.
Absolutely. If you're listening to the sound of our voice, you are so cherished and valued, and we just honor you today.
And if you've lost your mum, that's really hard as well.
Like me.
You were in tears just before the episode.
Gosh, before we even started, Ryan's like, yeah, you got your thoughts together. I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking, how am I going to do this episode? So far, so good, but who knows what this next section will take. But I was just reading some things on the Motherless Daughters Australia Instagram, and yeah, some of the things just hit me. I was like, yeah, wow, so true. One of them specifically was it's not the grief. I can handle the grief. It's all the other things that come with losing your mum, your sense of home, your grounding, your person who would give you advice on anything. You're someone who would validate your place in the world and as a mother, as a woman.
It's all the secondary losses,
Yeah.
It's the loss of future experiences and events and moments and being there for things and celebrating children and weddings.
Your biggest cheerleader. Yeah, your celebrator.
Totally. And it's not easy to wrestle. It's not easy to, wrestle with those thoughts. It is a wrestle. How have you gotten through it?
The quiet tear. I've had other beautiful, mother
Figures.
figures in my life, and my auntie, my mum's closest sister. So I've had, those type of people. It obviously just doesn't fill the void of my mother. But I think my mother's strength was also, I guess, probably passed on to me as well. And then just there are moments where it's just I don't cope and have a little tear.
And that's okay.
And then move on.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have, because it's a real thing that I'm dealing with that I'm not alone in, and so many of you are also dealing with. And
I love that you've found other mother figures, and because I feel exactly the same with father figures. And there's been, friends, dads, and people in our world, even business mentors and so forth. There's just been small things about them that may or may not resemble my dad, but are sort of like a North Star as to that is what a father is or a mother is. And, I can lean on that, and just being around that, just gives me that sense of it's okay.
Yeah. And then I also think I'm more so, and I think a lot of you will probably feel the same, who don't have your mum, and then you see, friends who do have mums, or maybe they're not as close with their mums, or the relationship is not at a great spot, and you just, you feel for them. You either feel upset and angry, or you're a bit jealous,
yep.
and
Totally.
And that
especially I think if somebody's not appreciating
not
their mum,
appreciating the relationship, yes,
and you're I wish you knew.
I wish you knew
how much that person would mean to you if you lost them.
Yeah, I wish that you knew every last moment is a gift.
Yeah.
And what I would do to have more of those. And then these people aren't appreciating it, and it's annoying. And I'm using the Italian hands.
I think that's probably one of the gifts that we receive from going through grief, is that
absolutely,
that we can help people on that journey and can encourage them to have tough conversations, forgive faster, to love deeper, to care for, more. We can encourage people on that journey, because I know that's grown in me and you.
And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes the other person's not willing to play and come to a compromise or whatever it is. It can be really complicated. But as a general rule, if people aren't appreciating the relationship that they could be having, it's upsetting to me. Yeah.
One of the thoughts that I love that David Kessler said is that I don't want my loved one to know that when they died, life lost all meaning in my life. And so from this day forward, I'm going to try and honor them in everything that I do. And I think that's a pretty cool driving thought in terms of finding purpose and finding meaning, to honor them so that life didn't become grey and worthless. And
So not while they're alive. Once
After they're gone.
Once they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like if you were to meet them again, for example,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, and mum's like, hey, how are you? And you're like, oh no, life's terrible.
Life sucked when
you
you were left.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
I didn't get up out of bed. I didn't go and smell the roses. I didn't feel the sunshine. I didn't jump in the ocean. Like,
Yeah, they're not going to be like, awesome, I'm so glad you rested
Just-
and stayed in bed. They're not going to say that.
totally.
Yeah.
It was actually interesting, you know, on Sunday, yesterday at church, our pastor, he wasn't meant to, you know, they've just lost, you know, his brother-in-law, and so he wasn't meant to be preaching. But
Our friend was.
and they got gastro.
Like an hour before the service.
And so our pastor puts together a message and says, Lord, help me, share something that you want to share. And there was something that it caught my attention, you know, as he was sharing their grief story. He said, no matter what season you walk through in life, you can either choose to wallow or worship.
Yeah, that hit me too.
You can wallow and you can roll around on the ground and let life pass you by, or you can choose to worship. And they were just such a shining example and testimony to that, even though it's only 2 weeks since they lost their brother-in-law, son, friend of many. They're still choosing to worship, because ultimately, and like that was the same when both of us lost parents, it's like, what other choice do we have?
Yeah.
And if we want to see them again in heaven, you know, that's the calling card. That's where our compass is pointed.
100%. And I shed many a tear yesterday during that service, because I just so related to them, and I was just like, it was also happy tears. Like, yes, you guys got it. Like, I'm so glad that, and I wouldn't expect anything less from that family. But I think that was our point of view. It was like, well, this is what Mum would want us to do. This is what we'd do if she was here and Dad was gone, or both of them were here and someone else was gone. Like, it's just what we do as a family. Like, you push on, and God is still good. And yeah.
And that's one of the thoughts I like thinking about, like, what would Dad want for me? What would Mum want for you?
Yeah.
And going, all right, can I take a step towards that today? You know, in my weakness, in my, if it's apathy or if it's grief or if it's sorrow, what can I take? What step can I take towards that today? I love Andy Grammer, the artist. He, you know, shares a thought about losing his mum, is that he likes to surprise and bless other women at cafes and different restaurants.
Oh, that guy. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he likes, you know his music, you just probably don't know his name so
Sure,
much.
but I have seen one of those reels.
Yeah, we shared it on our page, and he'll be in line and just turn around and say, hey, I want to let you know that I lost my mum, and something that I like to do is shout other mums or women, you know, their meal. Not in a weird way, but just as a way of honouring my mum. Can I buy you a meal?
Yeah, because he probably also misses taking his mum out for...
Totally. And one of these women that he shared this story of, and she's like, you know, that's crazy. I lost my son, you know, and they just had this deep connection moment. But I like that way of paying it forward. And maybe that's buying someone their coffee. You know, maybe it's sending someone a lovely letter or a card.
Yeah, doing acts of service for them, washing their car, doing their gardening, mowing their lawn, whatever it is, taking their shopping to their car.
Yeah, a really cool way to remember and honour your loved one or your mum.
How do you like to honour your mum these days?
Oh, yeah. So my mum's alive, just...
Yes.
Yeah, to be clear. How do I like to honour her? I mean, she came around and helped clean the place last week because we needed help.
So we left it in a bomb site when we rushed to hospital.
And I didn't feel like I'd thanked her enough. And so the next day was our anniversary, I think. Yeah, I think it was our anniversary, and you know, she sent us a gift, and I called her in tears, and I just said, Mum, like, I'm sorry, I don't think I thanked you enough yesterday. And here you are sending us a gift and blessing and thinking of us. Yeah, I like to use words, and so that was my way of, trying to honor her and so forth. I could probably think about that, a bit more.
Here I am asking the question, but I'm the one crying.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not even your mum, it's my mum. But you love her, which is so beautiful.
She did. She helped out so much, and I think I even forgot to text her, so I just...
Yeah. So, hey, I don't know if this has been helpful, this conversation. We're walking this journey one step at a time, just like you are, where we may just be a few years down the track from where you are right now. Maybe you're a few years ahead of us. We're into year 11.
Totally.
I just think about it like we're going through school.
Yeah.
We're in year 11, but the grades just keep on going.
Yeah. And sometimes it's still crazy to think that they're gone.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Sometimes it still feels like they're just on a long holiday. But I moved out and I just haven't seen them in a while.
A thought that I did have that I wanted to share, and hopefully this is helpful to somebody else as well. When I was young, my grandmother passed away, my dad's mum. I didn't understand grief when I was young. Maybe I was 5 or 6.
Yeah, neither.
And I didn't understand. What I understand now as an adult is that my dad loved his mum so much. It's like the way I love my mum and my dad. Like, I can understand that now. And
I know that from just hearing stories about him and his mum.
yeah, he brought his mum in to live with them and in a granny flat, and she helped take care of me, and they were just so close. And so she died and my dad was broken, and I never saw that because I was a child. Maybe he hid that from me or just didn't show that around me, but he was broken, Mum said. And as I got older, I never understood how he dealt with that loss until he died. And then here I was dealing with the same stuff that he dealt with and now understanding it firsthand. And just, recently I've been putting some of these thoughts together and realized that something that gives me comfort and might give you comfort as well is knowing that my dad is now reunited with his mum, something that he missed so deeply, brings me so much comfort. If I don't get to have him here with me right now, but he's with his mum, I'm okay with that.
That's beautiful. That's nice. I like that. And my mum is reunited with her mum.
Yeah. Aside from being with Jesus.
Yes.
Which is just the ultimate, right? That's the ultimate. No more pain, no more suffering, no more heartache, no more lies, betrayal. We were listening to a song yesterday that said, "There's no more scars in heaven except for the ones that hold me."
Yeah.
Or hold you. It's the scars in Jesus' hands. And I think about that. I'm like, wow, I've got so many scars, physical and non-physical, that will be cleaned the moment I walk through those gates.
Yeah.
And that's the same with all of our loved ones.
That's such a nice thought.
And so I think positioning our thoughts, I think we often, hey, and I don't blame you if you're the same as me, we often look down and we think about our pain and woe is me. But if we just lift our eyes back towards heaven and position our eyes on Christ and those heavenly realms, man, I can't wait to burst through those doors.
Oh yeah.
And celebrate. I can't wait. And that keeps me going.
Same.
Yeah.
I think where we have our eyesight on this journey is how we deal with it, how it hits us. So if you're feeling really down right now and you just don't know how you're going to get through it, if you can just lift your eyesight, a couple of millimeters, like I said in previous episodes, inch by inch, not yard by yard. Like, yard by yard, life is hard. Inch by inch, life's a cinch. So, like, I'm talking millimeters, but inches, whatever. Something small, but if you can just lift your eyesight just a little bit, towards the positive, towards, the future. I just feel like that'll help you out of your state a little bit more each day.
Yeah, I was thinking about like riding a bike. If we're looking at the ground as we ride, we're going to crash into stuff. But if we lift our eyes to the road ahead, we'll go further.
Absolutely.
And it's about doing it together. That's why you're probably here listening to the podcast. That's why we created Good Grief. That's why we've got a beautiful,
community.
thriving community.
Yeah.
And we're excited to have you a part of it. As much as it hurts us to know that you're a part of it with us, we wouldn't want to be surrounded by any other people. So we pray and hope that this conversation's been helpful. If you're an Australian celebrating Mother's Day without your mother, we just want to send you all our love and prayer. If you're elsewhere around the world and you've lost your mum, same thing. Big hugs go out to you. And if you found this helpful, share it with somebody. That'd be amazing.
Please do.
Continue to spread the message and show people that there is a way to grieve well. And until next week's episode with Elizabeth, our nutritionist, be blessed and we'll speak soon.
Big love, guys.
Bye for now.
See ya.